With breaking news happening now, this is a Wave News Alert.
Thanks for joining us on Wave News at 3. I'm Jolles in for Myra Ansari. We have breaking news this hour. A Nelson County judge has denied the motion to reduce Brooks Houck's bond from $10 million. Houck is charged with murder in the 2015 disappearance of his girlfriend at the time, Crystal Rogers. His attorney requested a lower bond during a hearing last week, arguing that a $10 million bond was not only unheard of in Kentucky, but unconstitutional. Well, today the judge ruled the $10 million bond will stay. He says Houck's family is wealthy, owning 83 properties worth the value of $8.5 million. Next, there's the gravity of the charge, murder, which could carry a lengthy sentence, giving a defendant a reason to flee. And lastly, the judge wants to protect witnesses in this case. We learned during Houck's arraignment, prosecutors believe Brooks's brother, Nick, sold a gun that may have been used to kill Crystal Rogers' father, Tommy Ballard. The Houck family is also accused of secretly recording grand jury proceedings by hiding a wire on Brooks's sister, Rhonda. It's that misconduct that the judge says he can't risk by lowering Houck's bond, and tonight he remains in the Hardin County Jail. The next court hearing is set for February. A fight at a bar in the Highlands ended with a shooting early Sunday morning. A witness shared this video of the brawl at Baxter's 942 with us. The shooting happened on the same block around 3 a.m. Sunday. Today, Louisville Metro Police confirmed they are related. The man who was shot was taken to U of L Hospital. He's expected to survive. No one's been charged in that shooting. The shooting happened as Councilman Ben Reno Weber had been taking steps to reduce crime in the Highlands. Some city leaders have even floated the idea of moving up bar closing times. Wave News reporter Marissa Burke has been talking with witnesses and city leaders. She'll have more starting tonight at 5. Well, right now, Israel is at war with the Palestinian militant group Hamas after it carried out an unprecedented attack by air, sea, and land on Saturday. The large-scale surprise attack left 900 dead in Israel, including at least 9 Americans. Now the U.S. is rushing to send military planes and ships as Israelis retaliate. NBC's Alice Barr is on Capitol Hill with the very latest.
As the full scope of the deadliest attack on Israel in decades comes into focus.
This is an attack that I don't think anyone saw coming.
The State Department confirming that at least 9 Americans have been killed, with more U.S. citizens still missing. Lawmakers briefed on the rapidly developing situation. Americans who managed to make it out of Israel describing scenes of horror.
There were rockets above us all day.
Israeli officials say at least 700 people have been killed in what they're describing as their nation's 9/11. Israeli airstrikes now hammering the Gaza Strip after the ruling Hamas militant group in Gaza attacked Israel on multiple fronts Saturday morning, raining rockets into Israel, while Hamas fighters infiltrated, in some cases by paraglider, as this video shows. A music festival in the Israeli desert, one of their first targets. 260 people were killed here, many more taken hostage. As the hostage crisis unfolds across the country, this Israeli father desperate to find his kidnapped wife and 2 young daughters.
They are babies, and my wife, they are my only family.
The Defense Department announcing the U.S. is sending military assets closer to Israel to deter any further attacks, while U.S. officials are not ruling out using the assets to help one of America's closest allies in its fight against Hamas. There are growing questions about Iran's potential role in this attack. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said he has not yet seen evidence that Iran directed the violence, but that Iran and Hamas have had a long relationship. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And a group of Nelson County residents who have been stranded in Israel for the past 2 days are now one step closer to safety. We've been following this story closely ever since we learned the group was trapped in Israel. The group is from St. Joseph Proto-Cathedral in Bardstown. Pastor Terry Bradshaw and a group of parishioners were on a Holy Land tour when the attack happened, and they were suddenly trapped. Associate Pastor Jacob Zulu tells Wave News the group is headed from Jordan to Paris and then from Paris back to the U.S. But in the meantime, he's asking people for prayers.
It's a difficult situation, not easy to comprehend, looking at what is happening in Israel and knowing that Father Terry and some of the pilgrims are there. So it's a bit scaring, but we don't lose hope. We commit everything to prayer.
Father Jacob says he expects Father Terry and the other parishioners to return to Kentucky this Thursday. Now to Louisville's Russell neighborhood, where a man was stabbed near a McDonald's on West Broadway this morning. Police say it happened around 5:30. When officers got there, they found a man with stab wounds. He was taken to U of L Hospital and is expected to survive. The stabbing is still being investigated, and LMPD says currently there are no suspects. Well, the GOP is racing to find a new House Speaker so lawmakers can resume work after the historic vote ousting Kevin McCarthy last week. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise of Louisiana and Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan both want to replace McCarthy. They're set to make their pitches to fellow Republicans at a closed party conference discussion today, followed by a candidate forum tomorrow and an internal election Wednesday. It's not yet clear when the full House floor vote for Speaker will happen, though. That depends on whether moderate Republicans can rally around Scalise or Jordan, who are both from more conservative districts. Well, employees at Everwise Credit Union are spending the day giving back to communities. The company participated in their 4th annual Day of Giving. More than 650 employees were at over 45 different nonprofits across Indiana and southwestern Michigan. And we caught up with volunteers with New Albany's branch as they helped clean up around Family Arc, a nonprofit that provides programs to create positive changes for children and families. The volunteers trimmed up the hedges around their building and cleared the leaves scattered across their yard.
We've had both members of ours as well as employees of ours serve on the board for Family Arc. That's how we got connected, and then we've served them the last 3 years on our Day of Giving.
And in previous years, in addition to landscaping, volunteers have also helped wash windows and clean up around the house. Well, after the break, with the violent escalation of the conflict in Israel, groups across the country are rallying and protesting for each side. Plus, you'll hear from one woman who's still waiting to hear from her neighbor and good friend following the attack in Israel.
All right, we're monitoring a very changeable week for us weather-wise here to Wave Country. Starting off a bit cool, then warming back up again. But how long will that warm spell last? We'll map it out for you guys. The entire 10 days still to come here at 3.